once again. Today we are to talk about the international law, basically on the law of the sea. Law of the sea, basically, but before that you have to subscribe. When you subscribe, then you're helping us, you're helping other students, so that when we make any video, you shall be able to receive and send to friends so that they can get the content. So international law of the sea and oceans. This was created basically to make sure that it is a branch of international law that regulates the rights and obligations of states concerning the use of oceans, seas, and marine resources, which means a nation or a country has the right to use the sea. We shall use a country like Kenya. Kenya is not a landlocked country. It reaches the sea, the Indian Ocean. So Kenya has the right to use Indian Ocean in the ways we are going to explain. So the United Nations in 1982 created or came out with very many rules that were concerning the international law and abiding even on states, the states which are not the states which are not under United Nations. They can be even concerned the moment they try to breach international rules of the sea. Yes, they can be liable for the circumstances. Now, we are going to see why they created the laws. One was to maintain international peace and security. Two, to facilitate international trade and navigation. Another is to promote the marine environment, and to promote equitable sharing of ocean resources. Being that the ocean is very big, it is very big. So there is the way how they would like countries to share in the way of using the sea. So even if yes, you are bordering the sea or you are at the sea, then it means that you have to use it in lawful ways, and basically even your neighbors or the other people who may use, or other countries may use the sea as the law states. So they are telling us that these laws, the UN laws of the sea, were put into force in 1994 recently. So that's when they were put into function. So we are going to see the divisions of the sea. And the sea is divided into zones. Why? It is divided into zones to categorize on how you may use the sea. Yes, on how you may use the sea, how your neighbor may use the sea, how all of you may use the sea, which rights do you have to use the sea, to which extent. Yes, now, the United Nations Charter divided the sea into different zones, and the zones were like four. One, we have under Article 8, yes, in this United Nations Charter, Article 8, they divided from Article 8 to 12, they talked about international waters. What are international waters? These are waters on the landward side of the coastal state baseline. Yes, examples like the bays, the harbor, the ports. So, the coastal state has the complete sovereignty. Just it does. Yes, it has complete sovereign authority or sovereign rights. Like just it does in what we call the inland, like how it does inland. When you find, because we are going to use like Kenya, and they are telling us that sometimes, like if the marine or the ships try to enter into those called the bays, the harbor or the ports, then Kenya is the one to allow them, or not, yes, is the one to allow them, because they are the one to take control, they have control over that. That is what we call international waters. Now, we have territorial waters or territorial sea under Article territorial waters under Article 32. Territorial waters, from Article 12 to 32. Territorial waters, these waters were divided, what we call nautical miles. Yes, we shall see what we call a nautical mile, and here they are telling us that a nautical mile, 1 nautical mile equals to 1.8 kilometers. 1 nautical mile, which means for territorial sea, from the baseline to they will calculate 12 nautical lines, nautical miles from the baseline to they will just calculate 12 nautical miles from the so for territorial waters, it extends from the baseline 12 nautical miles. Yes, from the baseline. Yes, it means there you will calculate 12 nautical miles. When we calculate the 2 kilometers, that is 22.2 kilometers. Because I told you that 1 nautical mile equals to 1.8 kilometer when you calculate on the plain land, not waters. And the reason why they use nautical miles is because the nautical mile is based on the Earth's geometry, when calculating the distance, when calculating or when they are doing their navigation or whatever. So 1 nautical mile is actually calculated in minutes, where you find 1 nautical mile is equal to 1 minute. That's why it is different from, that's why 1 kilometer, it is equal to 1 nautical mile is equal to 1.8, yes, nautical kilometers, yes, yeah. We have what we call contagious zone, that is Article 32. For contagious zone, extends from 12 to 24 nautical miles from the baseline, because when you want to understand it better, like if the ship is carrying something like smuggling goods and is in 20 nautical miles from the coast, then the coastal state may step and inspect it. However much we have said that the coastal state extends for only 12 nautical miles. But here we are saying that it can also go ahead and extend 24 nautical miles, because we have. Yes, now let's also go ahead and talk about another zone. Another zone is what we call exclusive economic zone. This is stipulated under Article 55 to 75. Now, this extends 200 nautical miles from the baseline. Remember, we told you that 1 nautical mile equals 1.8 kilometers. Now, and 1 nautical mile equals to 1 minute. Now, this is done because you may find that these people may still have something they want to do. As we have given you the example of Kenya, the coastal state, that in exclusive zone, exclusive economical zone, they will extend 200 nautical miles, because here that's where they may carry out economical things like fishing, things like oil and gas, but this also gives the right to other countries may still go ahead, sail or fly over that area. Let's go to another zone, which is called the continental shelf. The continental shelf, that's Article 76 to 85. Now, continental shelf, these are the seabed and the subsoil that naturally extends from the country's land territory under the sea. So we are talking about under the sea, the land, the soil, the sea base, the seabed. Now we are talking about the seabed. A country like Kenya, when it comes that there is like oil in the sea, then Kenya can go ahead and drill. Yes, can go ahead and drill off in the beneath and make sure that they do what? They get that oil, or they explore, or yes, they can go ahead and get that oil there. Article 77 talks about the coastal state can explore or do submarine missions. Yes, because you know marine missions, this is for the military that is used basically to do their training at the sea. So they can explore, that is Article 7, they can explore or do submarine works. Now we have another what we call the high sea, that is Article 86, 120. So high seas, so-called the international waters, all parts of the sea are beyond national jurisdiction. Yes, however much we are saying that a country like Kenya takes or have the control over waters, nautical miles 224, 12, but the sea is also generalized to be beyond national jurisdiction, which means other countries may enjoy freedom of navigation, fishing, and other things. Where Article 88 tells us that high seas are used for peaceful purposes, which means however much you're using the high sea, then you must use it for peaceful purposes, not like the other of Iran versus America, where they fight. Yes, they fight over the Strait of Hormuz. Now, while you're using the sea, then here you have like every ship must move containing a flag. Yeah, containing a flag. Yes, because containing a flag will show that this is China is coming, this is India is coming, this is Uganda is coming, this is Rwanda, this is whatever. Now we have to talk about dispute resolution. Dispute resolution, maybe we have to talk about dispute resolution in another video. Thank you for watching. Stay blessed and subscribe to the channel.